If you guys like Call of Duty content, give this video a like, give me a subscribe. Let's take a look at the Modern Warfare AUG and why I think it's worth taking a look at in Season 3 of Warzone. So the Modern Warfare AUG adds some really weird flair to it. So if you take a peek at the damage values and what's going on, at 12.5 to 40 meters, you've still got 30 damage to the chest, 28 to the stomach, 20 to the extremities. Because at 22 meters, the XM4 kind of ends up becoming weaker for the most part unless you're hitting headshots. But unless you can reliably hit those headshots, the AUG is just such a better option. So if we take a look at the modified stats, we'll see a few really key points here with the XM4, which is it's kind of useless up close in that the hip fire doesn't really help you that much. However, the AUG build that is set up for close quarters stuff, which is like you'd use a MAC 10 or something like that, it actually offers better hip fire than the MAC 10 as well as faster bullet velocity. The MAC 10 does have movement on its side, so there is that advantage, but the AUG is a great option for a filler rifle at this point. The nice thing with it is, with it being 5.56 drum mags in the SMG class, the SMG ammo is still being used even though it says 5.56. So if you get into game and you have a gun that you want to use that is like the Carv.2, for instance, is coming out this week, this gun would be a great one to pair because you have full auto on it, it does well up close, it does well at a distance, and the Carv.2 is going to take your engagements, anything from like 60 meters and on more than likely. So anything from like 40 meters and closer, for sure going to use the AUG, where you have that kind of middle ground where you can pick with what you want to use for the AUG or the Carv.2. When the Carv.2 comes out, I'm going to have a loadout video for that to match it with, but let's jump into the actual loadouts I used for the AUG and why I went the route I did. The first one is going to be the lowest skill version. This one is going to have least amount of recoil because the gun does have a lot of vertical recoil. So we're going to use the Compensator, of course, the 60 round drum mag, and the 622 millimeter long barrel, the VLK 3.0 Optic, and the Merc Foregrip. Now the Merc Foregrip is used because we want to make sure that we have the vertical recoil under control. So it's all going to kind of come to a culmination and give you a significantly less recoil gun than the next one. So the second loadout that I would kind of go for is the Monolithic 622 long barrel, the 60 round mags, a Tac Laser, and the Merc Foregrip. And that one is just one of those that's, I had good success with that while I learned the gun. But once you learn the gun and you get comfortable with it, then you can step up to the final stage. The one that I really preferred out of the entire group, which is running it like an SMG. And that is with the 60 round drums, the Tac Laser, Monolithic Suppressor, Stippled grip, and the forged TAC CQB Comb stock. It just lets you get the gun up really quickly and lets you just kind of move around and do your thing. I am a ADS player. I don't really typically do a lot of kind of hip firing and stuff, but this loadout does have the tightest hip fire as well as one of the faster ADS times for the AUG. So there is that to take into consideration. It actually has a faster sprint to fire time than the MAC 10, so that is something to kind of consider. Considering the MAC 10 that we put it up against was a 5.9 task force, the suppressor, 50 round drum, the serpent wrap, and a no stock. So it's still a faster sprint to fire than that. 104 milliseconds versus 103 milliseconds of the MAC 10, and even the long barrel version of the AUG is only 117 milliseconds, with half of the hip fire spread of the XM4. And the bullet velocity for the AUG is actually really controllable in that you can kind of figure out what you like. However, the second loadout with the Monolithic Suppressor and the long barrel will give you by far the best bullet velocity at 1139 versus 990, and the SMG version at 1134. If you like the video, give it a like. If you like me, give me a subscribe. Have a good one, guys, and I will see you around.
I fucking dropped my gun like an idiot.